Mark Pukita is with us, one of the candidates running, and let's say hello to Mark here this morning, and welcome to the Ringside Politics program. Hey, Mark, how are you? Good morning.
Hey, Jeff, how are you? Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much for being with us. And Mark, tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about your background.
So I'm a citizen candidate. I've never run for office before. I live the American dream, sold a business at the end of 2019, was very concerned about the direction of the country and the way President Trump was being treated by everybody, including his own party. So I decided to run to represent the folks who were voiceless in Ohio. My God blessed me with the financial freedom and the time to do this full time. I'm the only candidate in the race who registered to primary rhino swamp creature Rob Portman. Everybody else got in after, I guess it was cool. They must have thought he was doing a good job. I did not. I was vocal about it.
Right.
And that's why I'm running.
Well, hey, kudos to you for being the sort of, as you say, citizen candidate, the outsider, the candidate representing we the people, as opposed to we the swamp. So tell us about the race. So how many Republicans are in? How many people are you running against, Mark?
So serious candidates, I would say there are 7 or 8.
Okay.
And so we've got Josh Mandel, Jane Timken, Mike Gibbons, Bernie Moreno, J.D. Vance, Neil Patel, Matt Dolan, if you consider him a Republican, and me. And it's going to be a horse race, right? It's a Kentucky Derby-sized field. I am the only protest candidate, the only fighter. I'm calling out corruption in the Ohio Republican Party, arguably one of the most corrupt Republican state organizations in the country. I'm calling out corruption in our state government led by Mike DeWine, who's really a Democrat. The other candidates aren't doing that. The other candidates won't stand up. They're afraid of Mike DeWine. They're afraid of the Ohio Republican Party. And I think there's a stark contrast between them and me.
Well, let me just say this. Well, I'm glad you're running to present that alternative to the voters, and I think you'll have a lot of success with that. Mike DeWine seems to be a weakling rhino to me. I've
Totally.
never been impressed with him, and sad he's your governor. He's marginally better than the governor we have here in Louisiana, who's a flat-out progressive fool. But, these rhinos are really almost in some cases worse because, we expect conservative leadership and they don't deliver. So
Right.
they hurt the Republican Party in the process.
Yeah, so let's think about this, right? We have a effectless Ohio legislature that is totally controlled by Mike DeWine, even though we've got a supermajority larger than Florida's. Think about that. Think about what Ron DeSantis is getting done in Florida,
Right.
and then look what Mike DeWine isn't getting done in Ohio.
I sympathize with you because we have a supermajority of Republicans in Louisiana, and our legislature is controlled by a liberal Democrat governor, even though we have a supermajority of Republicans. So I feel your pain, and I'm sorry you're going through that in Ohio. And, I'm glad, again, that you're pointing these things out, and you're going to have to really fight hard to get that message across because I'm sure you're going to find a lot of media bias in the coverage of the race.
Total media bias, complete media bias, shutting us out. I mean, that's why I have to thank you tremendously for allowing us to be on and get our message out because the Ohio media shut it down, but the Ohio Republican Party has shut it down. And getting back to the Mike DeWine topic, I've said that if Richard Cordray had won, we would have a more conservative state right now than we have under Mike DeWine because the legislature would have stopped Cordray from doing things they were okay with DeWine doing, right? So it really, we have become a weak country. We have become a weak state. We need strength. We need to send strong, principled, conservative people to Washington and Columbus to clean up and get the job done.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, and that's what I've been fighting for in my program for 22 years, and certainly will continue to fight for. And I aim a lot of my barbs at the Republican Party because they've been so pathetic for so long. Finally, under Donald Trump, we had a leader. I think the presidents that have been, in my opinion, the effective Republican ones in my lifetime, have been Ronald Reagan and then Donald Trump. And the rest of them have been rhinos and big government Republicans and people that have been just disasters. So going forward, we need that type of Republican in office to fight hard. We've got about 30 of them in Congress. That's about it. And we need more. So tell us a little bit about some of the main planks in your platform, our remaining few minutes. What are you emphasizing, Mark, in your campaign?
So we're emphasizing defending the country, fixing education, getting back to restoring and protecting constitutional rights, getting us, crushing the deep state, the swamp, and big tech, putting an America First vision in both Washington and Columbus, and protecting the sacred right of voting and voting integrity, and also transforming government to make it smaller and less intrusive, and also getting us away from the dependency on entitlement programs. We need to make them temporary.
I like all of those positions. Let me ask you about two more. What is your thought on all these mandates, mass mandates, vaccine mandates?
I'm totally against any force or compulsion for any mandate, like in terms of vaccines. I am the only U.S. Senate candidate that is not vaccinated, and I'm not getting vaccinated.
Right, that's your right as an American. Okay, and you shouldn't suffer for that right. That's your choice, your personal choice.
Right.
And what do you think about the border policy of Joe Biden?
I think it's a replacement policy to replace the voters that they are losing in the Democrat Party because of Joe Biden's incompetence. And we need to build a wall. We need to finish the wall. We need to move to a merit-based immigration program. For example, why are we not encouraging Australians that are good people to come to the U.S. right now and get out of that absolute
hellhole
mess that's going on there? The hellhole. I wasn't sure if I could use that terminology. And get them here, right? They're best and brightest.
Right.
They're doctors. They're highly educated people who are entrepreneurs or whatever. The other thing we do is I think we need to use the pressure we have as a country to fix the corruption and lawlessness in Central America and the Southern Hemisphere. Because
Mark, I love your plans, your platform. We'll come on again with you soon where you can explain it more. We're just out of time, unfortunately, right now. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for running. Thank you for offering this alternative to the people of Ohio. Thank you, Mark Pukita.